Good morning. Before we keep going, you guys have noticed we are learning a lot of different songs, and we have this one today. So, before we keep going, I want you guys to sing the refrain with us. So let's do the refrain one more time and make sure we're feeling very secure with that, okay? I am light, I am light. 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 I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I am not mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dreams I left behind. I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. I am 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 divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Second Unitarian Church. I'm Pat Wilder, a member of the membership committee, and my pronouns are she, her. Today we are in person at the Admiral of the Lake, the 2U Sanctuary, and continue to meet virtually on Zoom. We're glad you're here, whichever you're attending. If you're in the sanctuary and would benefit from noise-canceling headphones, we have one pair for adults and one for children. Please see our team in the back if you need those. As we navigate the varying needs for health and wellness, particularly related to COVID, we welcome you to wear a mask. We have masks available at the welcome table as you enter the building. We especially welcome newcomers and visitors this morning. Finding a new community and making connections can be challenging. Please know we're excited to have you and look forward to getting to know you. If you would like, there are blue mugs available during coffee hour, so you can signal to others that you'd like to come up and say hello. Not sure what to say? The Drum Allies group has come up with a question each week to help spark conversation. You can find the question posted on the coffee table. For the month of March, we're exploring having coffee in a split between the loft and the Palmer Room. This allows for less noise and more space for those who choose to stay after the service, especially for our children. Additionally, we always need more people in the kitchen after coffee hour. It's a great place to help clean things up, meet old friends, and make new ones while giving a helping hand. We want to remind everyone that the sounds of children are always welcome during our service. Our service today is led by the Reverend Jason Lydon, along with Kristen Clues as the worship associate, and music is provided by the 2U Music Ministry. Our time together requires a large group of people who make possible the worship, religious education, music, and technical production. We really want to thank them. As we greet our neighbors, let us do so by naming one thing about gender justice that is important to you. This is the time to take a moment to greet your neighbor.
Good morning. Something about
Together we share, and from this we live.
We are a Unitarian Universalist congregation, a community of children, youth, and adults, a people of many beliefs and traditions, bound not by the specific list of things we believe, but the values we share, where we keep love at the center. Whether you are joining us for the first time or for the 1,000th time, you are welcome here. Whether you believe in God some of the time, all of the time, or none of the time, you are welcome here. Whatever your race, whomever you love, whichever way you move in the world, however much money is in your pocket, you are welcome here. I invite you, when you feel ready, to take a breath in and out. Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing Spirit of Life.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Please remain risen and join me in reciting our covenant. We covenant to build a community that challenges us to grow and empowers us to honor the truth within ourselves. We will be generous with our gifts and honest in our communication, holding faithful to a love that embraces both diversity and conflict. Called by our living tradition, we will nurture spirituality within a vision of the eternal, living out our inner convictions through struggles for justice and acts of compassion.
Be seated. In just a moment, Lumi here in the sanctuary and Harris at the Admiral will light our chalices, the symbol of our faith. And we light our chalices this morning with these words from activist, actress, and author Laverne Cox. She says, "We are not what other people say we are. We are who we know ourselves to be. And we are what we love. And that's beautiful." We are missing our musician at the moment. We are skipping, by accident, some Curtis Smith. Would you be willing to share some Why We Give? And I appreciate everyone's grace this morning. We've had a little bit of a mix-up of worship associate and pianist, and so we're all adapting beautifully, and you're doing such a good job of adapting right here and right now. And so let's hear from Curtis.
Well, good morning. My name is Curtis Smith. I am a member of Second Unitarian Church's Stewardship Ministry, and I have the honor of sharing the campaign update on Together We Thrive, our 2026-2027 annual giving campaign. And I'm so glad to be one to bring you this news because it's generally good news. As of this morning, 102 out of 158 households have made a pledge to the coming year's operating fund. That is nearly 2/3 of the congregation standing up and saying, "I am here. I belong to this. I believe in what we are building together." And the dollars behind those pledges, we have raised about $339,000, which puts us about 83% towards our goal of $365,000. So I want to say thank you, tremendous. So we are close, so close. You know, everyone talks about March Madness this time of year. Well, most people. You're right. Actually, let me put a plug since he brought it up. Aren't we excited that University of Illinois is in the Final Four? I mean, that is something. What? We need to talk. Anyway, I digress. Well, at 2U, we have our own version, and ours is about generosity. This community has shown up this month in ways that take my breath away. We've grown by almost double digits in new members, pledges of households. People who were away have come back. New members have stepped in. Longtime members have deepened their commitment. This is what mutuality looks like in practice, not an abstraction. But people choosing again and again to be part of something larger than themselves. And now I want to speak directly to those of you who have yet to had a chance to pledge. We need you, not because the math demands it, though it does, but because this community is not whole without all of us in it. Your pledge, at whatever level is right for you, is an act of belonging. It is how we say, this place matters to me, and I want to keep it. Keep growing. Keep being a sanctuary of everyone who walks through these doors. March 31st is the official close of the campaign. That's this Tuesday, but if you haven't pledged yet, do not let that date feel like a door closing, because April will bring another outreach phase, and we will keep the welcome mat out. Today, right now, if you are ready, pledge forms are available at the welcome table in the Palmer Room and upstairs in the loft. Please complete one and either drop it in the drop box, which is right outside the sanctuary door to your right, hand it to Brandon Nix or our Director of Administration, or give it to any member of the Stewardship Committee. And I think the two people are me and Karen Goldner. You can also pledge online, and if you need to find the link to that, we got you there too. So, to the 102 households who have already pledged, again, thank you so much. From the bottom of our heart, from this community's heart, thank you.
I just want to take a brief moment to say that talking about giving from the pulpit can at times feel intimidating at church. And sometimes we might think, is talking about money at church the thing we're supposed to do? And the answer is yes, it absolutely is, because we resource this community. And giving is a gift that you give of yourselves to nurture and love and embrace this community and allow its ministries to go forward. And so this pledge season has been such a gift that you have given to each other and to Unitarian Universalism in the city of Chicago. So thank you all so much. And Brittany, will you lead our Time for All Ages? Oh, we are here. Just kidding. Wonderful. Nice to see you.
Nice seeing you too.
Sorry, I messed things
I
up.
was hiding behind the piano.
Ah, wonderful to you.
Well, as I mentioned, we are learning a lot of new songs, and today let's learn a little round. So we're going to use our hands for that. So my left hand will be your right hand. So, okay, let's mirror that. We're going to sing with your right hand, and here, you don't sing anything, just wait, okay? So let's go from the beginning. Lean in, once again, now and always, your lives are holy and divine. So first, lean in. Second, once again, now and always, your lives are holy and divine. Let's do this together. And here we're going to sing something else. But for now, it's just a placeholder, okay? Let's go together. Lean in, once again, now and always, almost the whole thing. It's missing, I love you. So, lean in, I love you. Once again, I love you. Now and always, I love you. Your lives are holy and divine. Another day we're going to do this as a round. But now I already know that you know it. Thank you.
Welcome and good morning. It's great to see so many of you here today. I should switch. Maybe I'll switch to the regular mic.
All right. I will speak from here instead of the other mic today. Can you hear me okay? Okay, great. There we go. All right. Anyway, I was going to say it's great to see so many of you here today, since I know it's the end of spring break for some of you, beginning of spring break for others. Hope everyone is having a wonderful time. Today, we're reading Introducing Teddy, a gentle story about gender and friendship. Move that for a moment so I can hold this more easily for you all to see. Errol and Thomas the Teddy play together every day. They ride their bike in the backyard. They plant vegetables in the garden. They have sandwiches for lunch in the treehouse. And they have tea parties inside when it's raining. One day, Errol woke to find the sun shining through his bedroom window. "Hooray," he shouted. "Come on, Thomas, let's go to the park and play." Thomas the Teddy didn't feel like playing. "You seem sad today, Thomas," said Errol. "Don't worry, the park will cheer you up." He wasn't so sure. "Oh no, even the swing isn't working. What's wrong, Thomas? Talk to me." "If I tell you," said Thomas, "you might not be my friend anymore." "I will always be your friend, Thomas." Thomas the Teddy took a deep breath. "I need to be myself, Errol. In my heart, I've always known that I'm a girl Teddy, not a boy Teddy. I wish my name was Tilly, not Thomas." "Is that why you've been so sad?" Errol asked. "I don't care if you're a girl Teddy or a boy Teddy. What matters is that you are my friend." "You're the best friend a bear could have," said Tilly. "Now that you're feeling better," said Errol, "let's call our friend Ava." "Hi, Ava. Teddy and I are at the park. Do you want to come and play?" "Sure, Errol. Let me just finish building my robot." "Hi, Errol. Hi, Thomas," Ava called out as she sped toward them. "Hi, Ava," said Errol. "Teddy has a new name. Let me introduce you to Tilly." "What a great name," said Ava. "Let's go and play, Tilly." "Wait, I'm just moving my bow tie," said Tilly the Teddy. "I've always wanted a bow instead." "Good for you, Tilly. Wear whatever makes you happy," said Ava. "I think I'll get rid of my bow. I like my hair free." Errol, Ava, and Tilly played all morning until it was time to go home. "See you at our next tea party," Errol said as Ava stepped onto her scooter. "Yes, see you there. I'm bringing a friend," Ava yelled as she sped away. Errol and Tiddy the Teddy play together every day. They ride their bike in the backyard. They plant vegetables in the garden. They have sandwiches for lunch in the treehouse. And they have tea parties inside when it's raining. Here's Tilly. It's a great book. I think there are a couple of really important messages, some lessons we can learn from this book. I'd love to hear from you all. What do you think is an important message or lesson that you can learn from this book? Lumi, go ahead. Yeah, very well said. Lumi said, it doesn't matter who you are or what's in you. It just matters that you're someone's friend. You're always welcome. Great, thanks for sharing. Era, what do you think is an important lesson from this book? It's good to talk to people if you are sad. Absolutely. That's another really important message from this book. I agree. I think this book is about kindness and friendship and being welcoming and accepting of each other, for sure. And Lumi and Era both hit the nail on the head. I think another important message from this book is that gender is fluid and changing. If you identify as a boy, that doesn't mean you have to do boy things that people expect boys to do all the time. If you're a girl, that doesn't mean you have to do girl things and wear girl clothes and act as expected all the time. That we all of us, not just Tilly, the teddy in this book, all of us change the way we act depending on what we feel like doing, right? What we feel like wearing, what we feel like saying. Because gender is fluid. That's the other important message here, beyond being a good friend, sharing and getting support when you're sad, being welcoming and accepting. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me. Let's go ahead and sing the children to their classes.
Surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Thank you all so much. And isn't it so nice that Gabe is patient with me when I get things wrong with music? Thank you so much. Today, amidst so many other things, it is a day of celebration, a day when we draw the circle a little wider, to make room for friends who have decided to make a commitment to join us here at 2U as members of our beloved congregation. I want to invite Christy and Judy to come join me up here on the chancel. We're just making some adjustments over here. Thank you, tech team. And Christy, you might want to use this microphone, I'm betting, based on our height differences.
This church season, we have held a few new member classes. We've talked about the various journeys that have led each of us into this community and what prompted us to choose this place as our church home.
We discussed the history of Unitarian Universalism. We told the story of our congregation and how it works. We reflected on what membership means so that each person could come to a decision that set well with their own sense of integrity.
Friends of the church are welcome to participate fully in all activities. Come to worship with us, attend our social events, participate in religious education, make new friendships, let this community feed you, and give back as you are able. We have many friends in our midst, and we value you.
Membership is something more. When you sign the book and become a member of the church, you are saying that your commitment to this community runs deeper. When you are a friend, you have an expectation that this church will meet your needs as an individual. As a member, you are pledging that the community can ask things of you in return.
So members of the Second Unitarian Church of Chicago gain the privilege of voting and having a voice in shaping the future of this beloved community. Members are essential as we build a strong foundation for generations yet to come. Membership is a promise to stay connected by remaining in relationship to the people in this community, to ask questions, to raise ideas, to offer assistance, to be present, to ask for what you need, to give and forgive when necessary, and to practice compassion even as we all strive to be better human beings sharing this planet. Membership is a promise to stay at the table even when the going gets rough. And so this is a day to celebrate, even as it is a day of growth and change. Our community is growing, and we must draw the circle wider to make room for these new members who've decided that we are worthy of their friendship, trust, and commitment. So at this moment, I want to invite all of those who are getting in-gathered today to come forward and join us on the chancel, but make sure you can see the screen, because you're going to need to do that. And you can see a screen there, you can see a screen there, but best if you hang out over here. Ah, so fun to see you. Excellent. All right, and members of 2U, you can also see the screen, which you will need to do. And so I ask you, how will you be in relationship to these friends who have decided to grow our circle wider? The response is in your virtual order of service and here on the screens in front of you.
Welcome you as the newest members of our community. We promise to make room for you as you explore and find your place here. We want to hear your questions and your ideas, your hopes and your fears, and we will do our best to live up to your expectations of us as individuals, as a community. And we hope that you will recognize that we are imperfect and we may always love you. We may stumble sometimes, and we will not abandon you. We will celebrate your choice to join us and to honor us with your presence and your commitment. Take your place among us with confidence. You are welcome here.
And to these beloved new members, how will you be in relationship to this congregation? The response is on the screen behind you or in your hands. Even better.
As a symbol of your pledge to this community, you have already signed the membership book. Today, we offer you flowers as a token of our gratitude for the gifts that you bring to our community.
So members of Second Unitarian, are these new members of our church welcome amongst us? Just stop by the pulpit and say your name real quick for folks to hear you. We'd love to hear your names.
Jill Siegfried. Hello. Lorna Wood.
John Mears.
Emily Wheeler.
Alana Roman.
Liz Cantor Courtright. Hi.
Ross Courtright.
Sarah Murphy. Megan Ruprecht.
Thank you all. And so as we've already discussed this morning, each year we make a commitment, a pledge to support the ministry of this, our church. And in addition to this pledge we make every year, we take a collection on Sunday morning so that we can share with those who are doing justice work well beyond our walls. In just a moment, you will see a phone number on the screen, which you can use to do text to give. And for those of us in the 2U sanctuary, a plate will be passed around, which you can use to put in your change, your cash, or checks. For the month of March, we are sharing our plate with Trans Upfront, an advocacy and education organization in Illinois, building up the power of transgender communities and allies in the struggle for justice. On the last Sunday of every month, we hear from someone in our community who is doing work in one of our committees, teams, or ministries, and we have some more words from Pat.
Hello again. I'm still Pat Wilder, and I'm from the membership committee, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about our committee. You might think we're all about letting you know how to become a member of Second Unitarian, and you'd be partially right. Our membership orientation series is held 3 times a year, and it culminates with this in-gathering that you're witnessing today, where we give you the nuts and bolts of what a Unitarian is, the history of our church, and how you can join us. But that's not all we do. We're the cheery person you meet at the welcome table on Sunday morning who greets you, answers your questions about us, and where to find what. We'll also introduce ourselves at coffee hour if you're holding a blue cup. So make sure if you're brand new, hold a blue cup and we'll come up and say hello. We're party people too. Each year we host a summer new member picnic and we arrange small group dinners so that you can get together, share food and conversation in the homes of 2U members. In fact, we're having a dinner really soon on April 11th. In fact, we're looking for hosts. It's easy. All you have to do is choose the main course and your guests bring the rest. So if you're interested in participating as a guest or signing up as a host, there's a sign-up sheet on the welcome table outside, or you can sign up online on the newsletter that comes. If you'd like to know more about us and like to join our merry band, talk to me or one of our other membership committee members who are raising their hands right now. There's Judy, Tyson, and Sue. Okay, great, thank you.
And now I invite you to join me in reading our offertory words. This church is the community of ourselves. Its energy and resources are our energy and resources. Its wealth is what we share. As we contribute to the life of this community, we affirm it and enable its participation in the larger world around us. The offering will now be generously given and gratefully received.
Want to invite you to join me in the spirit of prayer or meditation. Let's begin by just breathing together. Rest your body into your chair. Take up all the space you need to. Fill your belly with air, expanding and taking up space, contracting, turning into yourself. And just breathe. Allow gratitude to wash over you. Feeling thankful for the breath in our lungs, the beauty of our earth, and the strength of this, our community. We hold in our hearts those who care for family in ill health, those who live with grief or chronic pain, those struggling with addiction or illness, seen and unseen. We are with you. For parents and teachers and all those whose primary spiritual practice is caring for children, we are with you. Pray for our neighbors in prison. For those who are struggling to stay afloat in the midst of poverty. For immigrants and refugees fleeing the overwhelming violence of immigration and customs enforcement, who are simply seeking and finding new homes amongst many. We are with you. We pray for all those living in harm's way, particularly those navigating gun violence. We pray for our planet and commit to work that will lead us away from the harms of climate chaos. As the devastation of war continues, we pray that wisdom, compassion, and empathy guide the leaders of our world. May they and we be instruments of a just and lasting peace. This morning, I particularly think of Jill Althage as she grieves the loss of Larry Lefferts, who passed away this week. And we know that our lives are blessed by those who are encountering the final stages of life. We offer prayers of comfort and care, knowing that this journey is far from easy. Into this, our shared silence across space, I invite you now to speak the names aloud of anyone you wish to lift up into the loving support of our community. With our deepest compassion, let us hold in our hearts those named and unnamed, those remembered and those forgotten. Let it be so. Amen and blessed be. During our ritual of lighting candles for joys and concerns, we want to continue to take care of ourselves and one another. In the 2U sanctuary, I'll invite you forward in just a moment, and as you finish your time of contemplation and candle lighting, there's hand sanitizer available for you. For those of us gathered at the Admiral, I invite you to come forward. Take a stone from one bowl, hold it tightly in your hand, putting your energy into that stone, and then knowing your joys and sorrows to be shared by this community, let it go lightly into the other bowl. And for those of us on Zoom, I invite you to share your joys and concerns in our chat window. We hold all of these, our shared joys, celebrations, concerns, and sorrows close to our hearts. Kristen, would you share our reading, please?
Our reading this morning is entitled, To a Trans Femme of Color Child from a Trans Femme of Color Ancestor by Kai Cheng Thorne. Dearest you, know that you are not alone, never alone. Even those moments when the world seems to open its mouth to swallow you whole, when the daylight burns with bigotry and the night is full of teeth, know that we are here. An army of fierce femme ghosts stands in your wake. We are bound to you, and you to us. Bound by something greater than blood, than bone, than flesh, than fluid. Something greater than the death or disease of the hatred of a million fathers. Bound by the words of a force beyond fire, a sisterhood beyond burning, a beingness they could never wipe out. I call you Death Walker, World Weaver, she who is summoned, Storyteller, Curse Bringer, Blessed Maker, they who were chosen by the goddess. You were born to be a healer and a warrior and a pleasure maker. To the brightly burning azure star, you were born to sing the end of days, the beginning of a new time. Let them come for you with their flaming branches, their hatred and terror, their laws and their bullets, and their Bibles full of 1,000 lies. Let them denounce you in the names of all their false gods. Your divinity is not found in any book. Your divinity comes from within. You have something they could never destroy. We made and remade ourselves and this world that they fear. Oh, I'm sorry. Pardon me. I lost my place. We made and remade ourselves and this world they fear. We made and remade ourselves in this world, and they fear us because we are at the end of theirs. Breathe new time into being, dearest child. Your will and your desire are all that you need. Never surrender to the illusion that you are not enough. You are more than anyone dreamed you could be. Tear down their walls and their rules and their petty false idols. Write me letters in your dreams and tell me how we won. I call you dearly beloved. I call you sister and daughter and wombless mother to 1,000 femmes. I call you weird and wise. When you close your eyes, when you weep, when you wonder where to run, call for me. I will be here.
Hello, y'all. Let's stand up together in body or spirit and sing Rise. We already heard a couple times, and I'm pretty sure you'll be able to do it. Let's start with the refrain. Oh, stand with me, rise up hand in hand. Oh, stand with me, we will rise to spread love across this bitter land. I will rise with all my daughters, I will rise against my foes,
I will rise with all the mothers, I will carry all their woes. I will rise to fight for freedom, I will rise to face the fears. I will rise against all hatred while my eyes are veiled in tears. Oh, stand with me, rise up hand in hand. Oh, stand with this bitter land. To build up bridges for this broken world we see. I will tear down walls that divide you and me. Oh, stand with me. Rise up hand in hand. Oh, stand with me. We will rise to spread love across this bitter land. Oh, stand with me. Rise up hand in hand. Oh, stand with me. We will rise to spread love across this bitter land. We'll rise.
Beautiful. Thank you, beloveds. So nice to hear you. This music we create together, what a joy. So there's a story that I've heard several times over the years that I want to share with you. A man is talking with a colleague at work. We'll call them Scott and Frankie, just 'cause. They have a pretty good friendship. They share lunch together from time to time. They aren't the kind of friends who hang out outside of work, but they know a bit about one another. I wonder if any of you have colleagues like this. They generally share how they spent their weekends when they talk across the cubicle on Monday mornings. And so on this particular Monday, Scott shares with Frankie that he and his wife had attended church the previous day. I didn't know you went to church, Frankie reflects back. What kind of church was it? Scott responds, it's a church down the street from where we live. It's a Unitarian Universalist church. Frankie makes a bit of a face. Isn't that the gay church? Scott is taken aback. He had noticed a rainbow flag outside the church. They certainly seemed to be people that he would have guessed were LGBTQ folks, but he wouldn't have called it a gay church. I mean, there were certainly gay people there, but I wouldn't call it a gay church. Huh, is all Frankie says in return. When Scott goes home from work that evening, he shares about this interaction with his wife, Susan. Is that Unitarian Universalist church a gay church? I sure hope so, Susan responds. Scott is a bit surprised by this response. What do you mean? Susan goes on, I wouldn't want to go to any other kind of church. I want to go to a gay church, a women's church, a disabled church, a church of people who have been excluded from religion for so very long. Why wouldn't I want to go to a gay church, a trans church, a queer church? So as we honor this Trans Day of Visibility today, I wonder how you might respond to Frankie about our congregation. How might you react to Susan when she responds to her husband? And I wonder if you've ever heard someone call Unitarian Universalism the gay church. It's something that I hear less often now, but in the late 90s and early 2000s, I feel like I heard all the time. And I remember, despite being a young queer kid myself, feeling defensive. The church has all kinds of people in it, not just gay people. Those making the observation or really the critique, they didn't simply mean gay, they meant kind of the whole umbrella of the LGBTQ community. People often shorten things to gay when they mean way more than that. So why wasn't my immediate reaction when told that pride? Why didn't I feel like everyone would be welcome in a queer church, in a trans church? I remember being at a workshop as a teenager and the leader telling us that if we were to be welcoming to all people, we needed to put the margins at the center of our work, of our ministry, of our faith. When we put the margins at the center, those who have long been at the center, they don't become excluded. They get to be part of a community that celebrates the fullness of experiences. Trans Day of Visibility for Unitarian Universalism can be a celebration of making our church visible, not just as an affirming space for transgender people, but a space where we center transgender experiences. The truth is, I believe that we aspire to do this. We don't always do so perfectly. We fall short. Some of us might even disagree at times that this is what we're supposed to do. But we have the opportunity to try again. Because remember, that's what covenantal faith is all about. It's about returning to relationship. We say our covenant every Sunday to remind us that we are in relationship with each other. And we get to do this work of recentering and celebrating those who have been pushed to the margins over and over again. We don't need to get defensive about being a gay church, a queer church, a trans church. We get to celebrate that people see us that way. So I want to share with you a couple of images this morning from my time on sabbatical. Can we see our first image? Yeah, thank you. This first image that you can see is a picture of an icon I came upon in a Chinese temple in Indonesia. Over the generations, the government of Indonesia has been oppressive to Chinese traditions and has done work to change that behavior, to allow the Chinese immigrant population to practice their traditions. The temple I went to with some new and old friends was a 3 traditions temple. There were icons and altars celebrating Taoist, Confucius, and Buddhist teachers, gods and goddesses. The one that you're seeing right now, this is an image of Guanyin, a Buddhist bodhisattva whose name means one who hears the cries of the world. One who hears the cries of the world. Guanyin is a gender transgressing spiritual visionary. Reflecting on the meaning of Guanyin, author Stacy Q writes, "We are spirit manifesting in human forms. Let us live that truth and help everyone see the beauty and strength that lies beyond the constraints of gender. And let us give thanks for the unique opportunity to do so." One of the things that is so amazing about Guanyin is that her story has traveled the whole world. Her story begins in India, travels then to Tibet, then on to China, Japan, and then truly the whole world has seen her. Her story has become vital to those seeking to be seen, to be held, and to be heard amidst the loudness and suffering of the world. I find it fascinating that over the centuries of her transformation, Guanyin's gender has been seen differently in different spaces and at different times. While she had already transitioned from a man to a woman in the 5th century China, there are depictions of her as a man until the 15th century. This was never a denial of her transness, but rather an acknowledgement that her gender was fluid, always fluid. And her vision of compassion transgresses what was understood to be possible. Over and over again, her visibility made it possible for those transgressing gender to be seen as divine, too often demonized, instead divine. I also want to highlight that many cisgender women note seeing themselves in Guanyin. I, in my research for this, read a story about a cisgender woman who had a double mastectomy as she was navigating treatment for breast cancer, finding herself in Guanyin. Another cisgender woman shared about her experience having a hysterectomy due to many benign tumors in her body that simply made it so that she had to have her uterus removed. And in a society that primarily defines womanhood by biology, by the ability to have children, cisgender women could find themselves in a feminine deity that defied the expectations of womanhood, celebrating the fullness of what it means to be a woman. Her refusal to fit into a box defined by patriarchy created liberated spiritual space for all women, cisgender, transgender, gender nonconforming. Visible transness can be life-saving, can be spiritually nurturing for people across the gender spectrum. We heard that in our children's story today. Tilly making visible the possibility of you don't have to wear your bow as a tie in your hair. You can take it off and live your gender however you wish. Trans visibility on my sabbatical trip did not just occur in a Chinese temple in Indonesia. When I was in Manila, I went to numerous drag bars. Different from Chicago, there's not a single kind of gay neighborhood, though there isn't really here anymore either. They are popping up everywhere. But drag bars in Manila are everywhere in the city. I rode on the back of a motorcycle to drag bar after drag bar. And if you've ever watched RuPaul's Drag Race, you may know that the Philippines is often overrepresented in performances. I even learned that RuPaul does not particularly like Drag Race Philippines because more people watched that one than the American version. At one of the drag bars I went to, a friend I had made introduced me to two of the queens. They were so kind to me, very welcoming. Not always my experience with American queens, but after our lovely introductions, the friend I was with told me that I should follow these two queens on Instagram, and so I found them and quickly discovered that both of them had over 1 million followers. So this jerk new friend of mine introduced me to famous people while I was dressed inappropriately and completely sweaty, and I felt a bit foolish. But shortly after, I found myself in the restroom at the bar, and there was graffiti all over the walls, and it was amazing. There was a rosary with a beautiful cross painted on the wall with the words, "Jesus was here." A beautiful reclamation of queer theology in an overwhelmingly Catholic country. Today, being Palm Sunday for our Christian friends, I like imagining Jesus into the drag bar full of joy, celebrating, "I am here," just like going into Jerusalem. But I also found a poem on the wall. Can we show the next image, please? It's hard for you to see from where you're sitting, so I want to read it to you. And it's a poem while I was in the bathroom that I realized I recognize this poem. I'd read the words before. It took me a moment, but then I noticed that the author's name was at the bottom, Mark Aguilar. She was a trans woman poet, activist, and organizer here in Chicago. Tragically, she died by suicide in 2012, but this poem has lived on, and I have read it many times. She came from a Filipino family. So did someone who knew her write this poem on a drag bar bathroom wall in Manila? Did her brother write it on one of his trips to the city? If you are someone familiar at all with the Aguilar family, you may know that Mark's brother, Michael, died at the age of 42 just last month. He was a longtime organizer in Chicago, recently working at the Crossroads Foundation. A very big loss for our city. I like, though, to imagine Michael traveling to Manila, going into this bar and honoring his sister by scrawling this poem across the wall. I think that this poem itself is also an act of public theology. So as you look at this poem, again, I'm going to read it for you since you probably can't see all the words. And I want to give you a heads up that some of the words might not be your favorite words. And at the same time, I ask you to embrace them as the gift that Mark intended them to be. And it's okay to be a little bit uncomfortable. Art does that sometimes. Here are her words. Blessed is the spectrum. Blessed are the sissies, blessed are the boy dykes, blessed are the people of color, my beloved kith and kins. Blessed are the trans, blessed are the high femmes, blessed are the sex workers, blessed are the authentic, blessed are the disidentifiers, blessed are the gender illusionists, blessed are the non-normative, blessed are the genderqueer, blessed are the kinksters, blessed are the disabled, blessed are the hot, fat girls, blessed are the weirdo queers. Take in this queer version of the Beatitudes. Imagine Jesus saying these to his disciples. Imagine Guan Yin proclaiming these words as she sits in lotus style on her altar. Imagine these words coming from your own mouth as you celebrate the love and compassion of your gay church, your trans church, your queer church, making visible the possibility of collective love and liberation. In addition to celebrating all of this visibility, it's important to honor that visibility is not always the safest or most powerful option for each individual. Visibility of trans icons, trans-affirming religious communities, powerful trans justice is very different from demanding any kind of visibility from specific transgender individuals. I wonder if you know that 20% of trans people in red states have become internal refugees in the United States as they flee to more affirming states. Being visible as a trans person can mean violence, lack of health care, loss of a job, exclusion from family. Trans Day of Visibility must never be pressure for anyone to be out. There are countless reasons why visible transness may not be safe. In community, people will often discuss the privilege some trans people have by being stealth, passing as cisgender. That privilege of passing can come at an expense, though. It can be painful to ignore part of one's story. It can also be liberating, creating a powerful sense of self. Not being visibly trans to other people can offer an opportunity to live a life that one truly desires. So many of us, I would even say all of us, want to choose which parts of ourselves we make known to other people. We want to decide for ourselves what to share, which truths to allow other people into. Trans people do not owe anyone visibility into transness that one does not want to express. Which of the stories about yourself do you want to keep close and just share with those you love and trust the most? Trans Day of Visibility needs to be about a celebration of trans liberation, trans experience, trans theology. For those individual trans people who want to be visible, this day is a celebration of them as well. No one gets to prescribe visibility for someone else. Ours, though, ours is a community that must be visibly welcoming. We need to take action and work together to be the space that celebrates the fullness of gender expression in its many, many myriad of ways. We can honor the legacy of Guan Yin. We can celebrate Mark's poetry. We can lift up gender transgressing spiritual traditions. And we just have so much more to keep learning. And so our responsibility is to keep making trans liberation visible. Let it be so, and amen. Please rise in body and or spirit and join your voices with our dear friends singing Love at the Center. As we come to the close of our service, we will extinguish our chalice. Kristen, if you'd be so kind to do so. And as we do so, we continue to keep the light of our faith alive within us. I invite you to rest your hands upon your heart or clasp hands with those you're sharing your life with. And hear this from Esper Bergman. One bright pansy popping through a sidewalk crack will get weeded or stepped on. It's not until 20 fabulous flowers burst through and the pavement is ruined anyway that someone decides maybe this isn't a sidewalk at all, but a flower garden. So please, for the love of gender, go bloom. Go bloom, beloveds, and go in peace.